isn't it?
Eh,
What do you mean, meh?
I've seen one of these before.
No, you haven't.
I have. I totally have.
We really have to talk about this game again, huh? I guess so. Anyways, welcome back, true believers and all you merry Marvelites, to another very interesting Marvel's Avengers related video. So shockingly enough, it has been a couple months since I have made a video about Marvel's Avengers, pretty much because there has been little to no news about the game whatsoever and the quote-unquote long-term future that Crystal Dynamics has planned for it. However, just the other day, we did receive an update of sorts from Crystal Dynamics going over what exactly they have planned pertaining to Marvel's Avengers in the next few months. And in case you happen to be one of the 5 people who still plays Marvel's Avengers on a frequent basis, we do have official confirmation from Crystal themselves that Marvel's Avengers is going to receive 2 separate updates at 2 separate times. The first update with patch 2.4 is scheduled to release sometime in May, which is primarily focusing on enhancing and improving the game's main systems relating to in-game events. And if you want to read through the entirety of everything that patch 2.4 will entail, I will leave a link to the developer blog post in the description below. But the main factor that has caught everyone's attention is that the next hero that is scheduled to be included within the Marvel's Avengers hero roster is none other than the Jane Foster iteration of Thor. And while some of the developers over at Crystal seem to be stating otherwise, I personally believe that the main reason why Jane Foster's Thor is the next character to be on the hero roster, instead of another hero like Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, Winter Soldier, the Falcon, or literally anyone else, is mainly to set her to release alongside of one of the next major MCU films of Thor: Love and Thunder, which, in case you don't know, is set to release in July of this year, which is likely when Jane Foster's Thor is going to be included within the game as well. Now, I personally don't have anything against Jane Foster's Thor. In fact, I actually do think she's a pretty cool character. But the primary problem that I do continuously have with Marvel's Avengers is the lackluster format that they do have for themselves in regards to its live service structure. And in fact, this is actually something that I brought up on Twitter just to emphasize exactly how bad of a job Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics have done with handling Marvel's Avengers as a live service game. If we look back at August of 2021, that is where the Black Panther War for Wakanda expansion fully released for the game, even after various delays. And the same thing can be said for Spider-Man, who did launch all the way back in November of 2021 as a PlayStation exclusive character. But if we take into consideration that Jane Foster's Thor might end up releasing in July in order to coincide with Thor: Love and Thunder, that'll make it nearly a whole year since Marvel's Avengers Last Hero was added into all consoles for its main roster. And to reiterate, for a live service game, this is simply unacceptable. And given this recent article on CBR.com, which is the main thing I wanted to talk about today, it doesn't seem like Marvel's Avengers is going to be lasting for that much longer. Because as the article goes on to highlight, is that Marvel's Avengers roadmap has either been cancelled or dramatically changed. Crystal Dynamics has promised players a long-term roadmap of future content for Marvel's Avengers, which was actually scheduled to release sometime early this year in 2022. But it now appears the game is without a plan. After months of reassurances to gamers, Crystal Dynamics appears to have abandoned any roadmap for Marvel's Avengers, or at least made radical changes to it. According to a Reddit post on the Play Avengers subreddit, a developer with Crystal Dynamics revealed the so-called roadmap for future updates to Marvel's Avengers does not exist, or has at least been altered substantially from what it had been. CD_Nick E posted to a thread discussing patches 2.4 and 2.5, and commented that the team planned quote-unquote smaller updates that aren't spread quite so thin. When questioned whether this meant the promised roadmap no longer existed, CD_Nick E replied, "I think that assumes that a roadmap's existence is a more binary thing than it is. If your definition of roadmap is a solid 6+ month plan we're ready to share with players, then no, that doesn't exist, because we'd have released it if it did. You know, like the roadmaps that we ended up seeing last year and the year before, or even the roadmap that was promised to us early this year. But for whatever incompetent reason that they have up their sleeve, it doesn't seem like that we're gonna get that anytime soon. Now, it appears that the promised Marvel's Avengers roadmap consists of minor updates sprinkled through the year, so fans have bite-sized new content consistently rather than waiting months between more significant updates. Although Jane Foster's Mighty Thor was confirmed yesterday as part of patch 2.5, which again is scheduled to release sometime after the patch in May, Marvel's Avengers has suffered months without anything new to keep players invested. CD Nick E explained the game developers couldn't think far in advance on updates, which oddly enough he ended up likening to the setting of Thanksgiving dinner plans. I'm pretty sure I'll celebrate it somewhere, and that there'll be a meal starring a turkey, but whether I'll be at my place or my family's. What sides will get made? Will I bother to watch the football game? Those are things that feel like they'd be guesswork this far out.
What the hell are you talking about? Who are you talking to?
Which, in my opinion, is pretty much their way of saying that they have absolutely no idea what they're doing. The last time a roadmap came up as a significant mention from Crystal Dynamics was in its February blog update for Marvel's Avengers, in which it confirmed a few updates and the return of Nick Fury. Rumors have also persisted for months that She-Hulk would join Marvel's Avengers, but speculation last month suggested she'd been pushed back until the premiere of her eponymous show, and Jane Foster's Mighty Thor would appear first. Since then, CD has released little information about Marvel's Avengers' future. And that right there, everybody, is the main problem that Marvel's Avengers continues to face. After Jane Foster's Thor ends up releasing sometime later this year in 2022, we don't know exactly what the long-term future of Marvel's Avengers is going to be, or if it's even going to have a future in the first place. Once again, a game that I continuously bring up when comparing live service titles towards Marvel's Avengers is an awesome game like Genshin Impact, which continuously provides brand new updates, characters, events, weapons, quests, and so on to fully give new life and variety within the game as a whole, and to keep you as the player coming back for more content, which is exactly what a good live service game needs to do. But for the case of Marvel's Avengers, it pretty much does the exact opposite, and even worse, the communication that Crystal has with its fan base is essentially next to none, and instead only decides to give out weird and vague responses like what we saw from Nick E, without providing a shred of clarity whatsoever. In the end, everybody, I personally haven't even played Marvel's Avengers since Spider-Man released back in November of 2021. And even at that point, that was pretty much the nail in the coffin for me to see exactly what Marvel's Avengers could do to improve its current state, which at this point isn't a whole lot. If you're someone who actually loves Marvel's Avengers and still thoroughly plays it to this day, that is awesome. I'm not trying to take that enjoyment away from you, I'm just saying that everything that we have going on for the game right now is not looking all that great, especially with the lack of communication and clear output for the wider scope of Marvel's Avengers as a whole, especially in the realm of its live service elements. However, since I am a content creator who does cover a multitude of Marvel games, I will be sure to live stream me playing as Jane Foster Thor when she is included within the game sometime later this year. Although, given that she's pretty much going to be an echo hero of Thor, I'm not really expecting anything too massive, similar to what we already saw with Kate Bishop and the Hawkeye DLC. But with all that said, everybody, that is the video that I have for you today, and please let me know all your thoughts in the comments section down below. What do you think about this train wreck of a game? Do you still play Marvel's Avengers? Are you excited for Jane Foster Thor? Please let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. And even more so, what do you think that Crystal Dynamics should do in order to try and save the future of Marvel's Avengers as it currently stands? Do you want to see patrol mode, more heroes to play as, a PvP mode, or anything else that could potentially save this game? Let me know what you think. Be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you did enjoy, and for more Marvel games / Marvel's Avengers videos like this in the future. And until next time, stay merry Marvelites, and peace out.